What's up, everybody? It's Brain44 coming at you with a new episode of the Downloadable Brain Podcast. We're on our third episode of Season 2. It is December 13th, around 2 p.m. right now. And I know I said I don't care too much about podcasting these days, but it's not something I see myself giving up on entirely, because I've already done quite a lot with Downloadable Brain as well as the Hypothesis, even if it's not my main focus or concern at this time. With that being said, I've done everything with this podcast, from spirituality talk to comedy, movie reviews, technological advancements, and just general discussions about society. I would say the night I put out that album release party episode, even though I knew I didn't care about doing podcasts much, because writing music and recording music was my main thing, it was sort of my way of making a statement that I'm here to stay, and the podcast is always going to be around. I don't give a crap if it gets mainstream success or not. If it doesn't get mainstream success, it's probably less problems for me. But if it does, I can't say I was ever trying to compete. My attitude is really no different with music or the psychology and motivation content that I post on my other channel. So I'm not really thinking about anybody else or looking at their success and comparing it to mine, or looking at my lack of success and comparing my lack of to their success. But I find with podcasting, there's already so many of them that as a non-famous person, I wouldn't shoot for mainstream success. Everyone has a podcast these days. Everybody has something to say on all subjects. And you can make a playlist of yourself just talking without a podcast if you wanted to. Pay attention to my community posts on YouTube. That's kind of what it's like regarding what I do there. Somebody looks at it, but I'm pretty much talking to myself. Whoever looks, whether they acknowledge it or not. I knew the day I started Downloadable Brain, it would be a smaller audience, which I'm good with, but I won't stop, nor will I make it a habit. At the end of the day, I really don't care too much. If you got 500,000 podcasts out there, I can live with mine not seeing a lot of recognition, but let's get the show rolling on this, bro. Don't tell Bo Lance, bro. We're laying out third-rate MCs like a badass Applebee's gift card expired in 84. Or I'ma cook you on the mic like Dick Van Dyke, not the current badass. The 500,000-year-old edition, baby. And I still feel like I'm in my 20s, bro. I can't make this shit up. The chef has arrived. Chef Kimmy in the house, baby. Not bad for an 800-year-old man, right? As an old-timer, I still feel like I have some stamina in me. Even if I'm too fat to satisfy a woman and I wasn't trying. Anyways, see what I did there? I called myself old. I feel old, and I've earned the right to be old, because a person who lives in the present, not the past or future, is a person who is living for the now. And I'm not that old. Many are much older than me, but I will continue to grow older and learn something new every day. Right now is all we have. You can wish for improvement for your future. You can take a look at your past, but you cannot redo things differently. You cannot jump ahead to the future before you work towards it and plan for it. I'm going to provide an example of this. I said I believe it's great to plan for the future. It's also what makes us grow when we learn from our past. The present is right now, how you're going to live today. Not even tomorrow, but right now in this present moment. You might look at things from the past that hurt you, things from your past you wish you could have done differently, but you cannot change it, only learn from it, whether it was a positive or negative experience. If you're anything like me and you've experienced a lot of hardships and trauma in your life, yes, accept it, but don't hold on to it. And I invite people who make a lot of bad mistakes to take on the same approach. Whether you have taken action to hurt me or not, stop obsessing over the past so much to the point where it's what consumes you. So for example, you could say, I regret not treating this person better. I regret not standing up for this person. I regret being a problem in this person's life. Or you could say, I'm not sorry at all. I love the way I hurt innocent people and they go down at my expense. I'm so great with all my money and my flawless looks. and my powerful friends, I can do no wrong because I'm above the law. But either way, if you've been through a lot and you're not living in the past, neither does anybody else need to, and that's really what I'm trying to stress in today's episode. The best way to heal and move forward is what it's all about. Not to obsess over past things you cannot change or the future which is not yet arrived. Now, it would naturally make sense that a person who has the problem themselves would either not want to heal at all or become completely incapable of healing. But who am I to tell somebody they cannot heal? Because you're talking to a guy right now who's healed himself. I used to have a big ego. I used to be in this victim mindset, but I got myself out of that, and I will never go back to it again. So you hear about these people sometimes who say, oh, I don't care who I do dirty, I love it. I can do whatever I want. Aren't I great? I'm perfect. Look at all my money and all my powerful friends. I'm so great. I'm amazing. I can do no wrong. I've never made a mistake. I'm perfect. Perfection is not something I chase. I was just born into perfection and greatness. Effortless ways, 0% error track record. Now, anybody who says that is delusional as fuck, and you might find them saying that they are a personal god themselves in their Instagram biography. Don't quote me on that if you know anybody who does that, okay? But I'm just saying. Anyways, the lesson that I'm trying to stress is to live in the present. You learn things from your past, whether you took action that you regretted later or whether somebody took action against you which hurt you and changed you in some sort of way. Either way, do not live in the past. I think the reason why people become so miserable and depressed is because they do live in the past and they remember the things that hurt them, or they remember the things they did to cause other people problems, but they don't move past it. Congratulations if you do feel guilty about doing somebody dirty, but even if you don't, and then like your whole thing is to be arrogant and cocky and egotistical about it, and you say, yeah, I'm not sorry, but you're living in the past as much as the person who regrets things. So both of you are not doing yourself any favors. You're not healing or growing or learning by continuing to live in the past. Living in the present would say, okay, that was in the past, now I'm living right now for the present. Living for the future could either be a good thing or bad thing. You're planning sustainable, realistic goals, or you're saying things like, oh, I want what this guy has. He has $20,000. I think I'd rather have it, so I'm going to do something to make $20,000 just to compete and say I made $20,000, but I didn't work the same kind of job that guy had. I didn't do the same kind of things that guy did. I don't possess the same kind of skills that guy did, but I want to compete with him because in the future I want to have $20,000 too. That's delusional way of thinking. Consider yourself being given a no by the universe itself. Even if everybody else tells you it's okay to think that way, it's not going to be successful. So just do your own thing, live in the present. Don't obsess over the past or the future. And that's the true key to healing and achieving self-mastery. If you stay in your past, it's already over for you. It's a lesson, not a blueprint on what to become or what to continue doing. Now, with narcissism, sometimes they count on keeping us in a victim mindset because that is how they feel powerful themselves, to victimize people. But attempting to control people is not really powerful at all. It's weakness. That's the one thing they don't want people to know, because we aren't like them, right? And they need you to think that bullying and being a bastard is powerful, but it's actually weakness. You're not just a regular bastard, you're a weak bastard. You're a powerless bastard. You're a cowardice bastard, and you're a piece of fucking garbage, and go fuck yourself, piece of shit. See how I just jolted the nervous system a little bit? We're just playing games. I'm just fucking with you guys, but I really do want to motivate people in a positive way to make positive changes that better themselves, as well as improve situations for other people who may be bearing the brunt of their narcissistic, idiotic, inexcusable actions. But anyways, attempting to control people is not really power at all. It's weakness. Attempting to control people, in my opinion, can make others feel powerful. But the attempt itself to control others is not a power move, it's weakness. In my opinion, the true definition of power is self-mastery. Because if you can achieve self-mastery in certain aspects, so can other people. And once you do that, if you've got a guy or girl saying something like, wow, he's got a lot of gifts, I'm jealous and envious of him, I want that, then I'd know not to associate with that individual or their people because of their jealous, envious, and aggressive actions, which are not power moves, that's weakness. Bullying is not a power move, it's weakness. Ganging up on people in numbers, it's not a power move, it's weakness. Powerful people achieve self-mastery. So a few dollars or swearing an oath to a lie and becoming loyal to the lie is to declare yourself a powerless follower or simpleton because you're letting other people dictate every action. Next time somebody attempts to influence you, if your inner voice is speaking out against everything they say, that's how you know they are not for you and it's all good, we just move on. So next time you see somebody who's talented, maybe you wish you had their talent, but you don't, stop looking at the person and stop being so damn envious and develop talent for yourself. I mean, I'll tell you right now, since I do music, I played musical instruments for most of my life, and I'm not very good at singing. I started my first year on vocals, and I've improved a little bit throughout my first year, but I'm learning as I go. Musical instruments are something I played my entire life, so it comes much easier to me, but do you see me comparing my vocals to somebody who is a trained vocalist? Do you see me wishing I had their money or influence? No, I do not, because if I was doing that, I wouldn't even be living in the present moment for myself, aside from the comparison of what I don't have compared to another, or what I wish I could have, but I just don't. But if everyone was perfect at everything, we wouldn't need teams, we wouldn't need companies, we wouldn't need friends, love, family, money, because we could do everything perfectly on our own without any help at all. But hey, that's not me. I can admit my vocals are weak, and of course, yeah, I wanted some help when I first got started with music, but in 2025, music is not about music. I only signed up for music to make music, and I did that long before YouTube existed, as well as this digital age. So I see it as like, it has pros and cons. The pros are, with a digital age, people like me can go complete indie and do it all on our own without help. But it's also a bad thing when you have so many other people like competing for attention. The attention is irrelevant to the music. You put the attention above the music and you want the attention first. The music comes second to the attention you receive, right? So since you're worshiping attention so much, and since you're worshiping validation so much, and since that consumes you, when you become consumed by it and you demand it and you can't live without it, then that's your entire identity, is I can't live without being validated constantly by everybody. But when nobody wants to see you win, everybody wants to see you fail, and they hope that you will, and some take action to ensure you do fail. Man, that fucking sucks, and that's not why I signed up for music, but I'll tell you, the day I signed up, if you had told me people would do that with me, I would have chosen something else. Maybe I would have got into a different hobby and pursued something completely different in life, but I didn't, and yeah, maybe I could start my own label. I don't have to, but I'm actively releasing my own music, and I don't give a fuck if people like it or don't like it. I mean, it's always nice to be supported, but I don't have my hand out. I'm not asking anybody for anything. If they want to support me, they can. If they want to work with me, they can. If they want to work against me, they're wasting time. And pay attention to what I had to say in today's episode, because comparing yourself to others is to miss out on your own success, which is happening now as we speak. And if you would put your own success below trying to one-up somebody like me or any other artist, then you're missing out on your win because you've compared yourself to somebody else. And you defeated the entire purpose of showing up to make music. I made the decision long before YouTube existed. I was gonna do music, and I could find you some vocalists who are better than me, point out their strengths to my weaknesses, but it would be a waste of time for me as well as the listener. Or even the artist if I was attempting to one-up or compete with them, but what's the point? My vocals are beginner level, so how can I compete with somebody who's a trained vocalist, right? I'm good at playing instruments, but when it comes to vocals, I'm still learning. It was my first year. My advice is just do you and don't compete or compare to anybody else. Whether you're in music or not, it could be anything really. Otherwise, ain't shit is your weapon and you'll master the art form of becoming ain't shit. Even a billionaire can develop an ain't shit attitude, or a peasant like me if you look at my finances as credibility. I mean, I may not have much, but I just don't give a fuck. And if people who have much more than me compare themselves to me, sounds like an oxymoron because, you know, you've got the money, you've got success, you get validated all the time, everybody likes you. Being a talented vocalist with a lot of money, like, that's a sure win. Now, I could take on this mindset of look at how much that person has, and then look at what I have, being here at the bottom with nothing. But I don't see it that way at all. I set out to do what I wanted to do, didn't I? I recorded the damn song, didn't I? I learned vocals in my first year, right? I learned all those instruments. I learned everything about recording my own and writing my own music, so I did all that by myself without help. And people still plotted and worked against me, so fuck them. I'm staying indie, but if you have to compare yourself to other people and you've already made it, in my opinion, you would be missing out on your own accomplishment by doing that. Because I don't have these accomplishments and I'm not comparing myself to everybody. So if you're doing that, if you've already made it and you're still doing that, I don't know, man, like you're missing out on your own accomplishments. Maybe it was a confidence thing, maybe it was an inferiority complex, a personality disorder, whatever it was. You let your comparison to me override your ability to enjoy success, and because of it, you're destroying your own accomplishments or success. I'm not saying in reality anybody would actually do that who's a successful musician. I'm just saying, yes, music can be competitive. I told you all I was able to compete if I wanted to before, but I stopped approaching labels and I just stopped caring. Not about music. I'm always on the music. I stopped caring about a business that was never willing to work with me, but always worked against me and always create unnecessary problems out of nothing. And I said, fuck it. I'm indie now. And I don't give a fuck, but I'm also not afraid of them, and I still don't give a fuck. I guess that's where I found my sense of belonging and niche, to not give a fuck, not fear them, and let the industry do their thing, because I'm gonna be self-sufficient when an industry worked against me and never wanted to give me a chance. But like I said earlier, we all need help. We all have strengths and weaknesses. I just know and sense who weak people are now. Now, I want to end the podcast by saying, don't live in your past, don't obsess over your future, learn from the past, work in the present moment to better yourself, and then when things do start getting better for you in your future, wishes are merely visions of what is to come. Just don't get delusional about it. If you're terrible at something and you find no matter how much you practice, you can never get better at it, it's obvious that this is something which was not meant for you. Like the French language, for example, when it pertains to me. I failed French class multiple times. Outside of the words bonjour and au revoir, I would say I basically can't speak French worth shit. And I'll never be able to. So I guess as a Canadian, I should probably avoid moving to Quebec, right? Unless a lot of people in Quebec can speak English. I don't choose to unlearn the French language because I'm ignorant or arrogant, or I dislike it. I don't have anything against French people. It's just because, like I said, I failed French multiple times and I suck at this language. I'm terrible at it, and I'll never understand it. So if I ever recorded a song that needs a guitar lick or something and the guy I'm working with is a French man who doesn't speak English, he's telling me how he wants the solo to go, but I don't speak French. we're going to have to call in a translator because we need teamwork to get this done. But I'm solo and I don't really fuck with anyone in 2025. I'm just using this as an example. To sum up today's podcast, though, don't live in the past, don't obsess over the future, don't compare yourself to everybody else, and don't go out of your way to compete with people or one-up them. When you're not competing and comparing constantly, you're not wishing constantly, you're not overthinking, you're in the present moment. Living without overthinking is not stressing about the past, which will hold you back, or obsessing over your future, which is not guaranteed to align with your plan, goals, or vision. Self-mastery is what it's all about. So if you've got a future plan and people don't share your vision, they don't see your worth, I guess that is why you cannot rely entirely on other people. Until next time, it's Brain44 signing out from the digital post-apocalyptic wasteoid planet of liars, cheaters, and freaks. Have a good one, mutants. Try to be honest today. You might find you actually enjoy it.